What may be 10 minutes for you may either be one sunrise for God our Father or even a decade of sunrises. I would encourage us all to revisit the Patience Chronicles shared just a little while ago, then return to this Chronicles episode. So go open in your browser or your music app and also play the song Stay by Pastor William McDowell. Let's get into Time Assured Chronicles on Chronicles with Stephie. Welcome everyone. Think of a word, a positive word, and it may just be a chronicle shared in this space. Let's make life more meaningful. Time is elusive, very elusive. All of what I just said was 6 seconds, by the way, to show you how elusive time is. Hi gems, hi lifestylers. How are we doing today? Welcome to Chronicles with Stephie. It's the podcast, and today's chronicle is Time Assured. You will understand exactly what I mean by that as we get into today's episode, but I pray that you all have been doing wonderfully well, even in the roller coaster moments, even in the lows of the valleys. Just be reassured that you'll get to the peak of the mountain eventually. So if this is something that you think you'll enjoy, or you just enjoy listening to my voice, let's get into Time Assured Chronicles on Chronicles with Stephie. Now we prance around daily with the false assurance that we have until the quote-unquote right time to make things happen, or to complete a goal, or to pursue a purpose, or to learn discipline and, take accountability. The time spent in schools, raising children, sitting in traffic, preparing for a meeting or event, it is all elusive. It's meaningful, but it is elusive. Time does not ever, in any sense of creation, past or present, or in the future, waits on us. It doesn't exist. It is us who always has to wait on time. Now, I'm pretty sure we've all heard this. Our days are numbered. No, more than ever. Blessed God. But our days are numbered. Not sure again if anyone has ever heard that phrase, but indeed our living days as human beings are numbered. The difficulty with that is that we are neither keen or knowledgeable about the place or time that the good Lord will hopefully one day call us all into eternity with Him. It will happen in His time, and His time only. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the only time. That time will be assured. I'm sure we're all wondering why I titled this Chronicles episode as Time Assured. I was actually confused when the Holy Spirit instilled it, but I digress, because I tell you, when you go to God with every care and concern through prayer, how many of us listened to the Prayer Chronicle episode last week? But I'm telling you, when you go to God with every and everything, He will call the uncalled and call the unqualified and make them qualified. And when you trust Him enough, He will surely give you the words, the intelligence, and the wisdom that you need to speak on any chronicle. So I can only share this chronicle in the form of a story, because that is how I was instructed to tell it. Time stood still. When I started college for the second time, and when I say second time, I switched majors, so hence me stating this for the second time, I cannot begin to express how grossly uninterested I was. I was the most rebellious individual when it came on to entering into university. I found it to be so pointless because of what I wanted to do. I wanted to just full-fledge myself into entrepreneurship. I was not interested in formal learning, and not just university. From high school, never interested. I was not that kid sit at the back of the class. True story. I'm not going to sit here and lie on these people's internet. Okay, so I was very much uninterested. I did not want to go to university. I just wanted to come into my entrepreneurial journey. And in fact, while in college, I can tell you that I tried my hands at so many things just to remove myself from traditional learning. I thought I had time, quote unquote. In my first semester, I flunked horribly. Again, true story. And it's a story I can actually tell now with ease because I've used the time ashore to forgive myself before it became too late. But yeah, I flunked really badly. And I was literally, I still have the letter to this day. I was written by the university that I was going to be kicked out. This is such a true story. If I find that letter, I know I have it. I'll probably chuck this in at the end or somewhere through this video. But they wrote me to tell me that they were going to kick me out. Then I usually get emotional whenever I have to tell this. Time ashore came, but it did not come for me directly. It came for my grandma. Esmin, I love you. Sorry guys, just one sec. Just one sec, sorry. Yes. So for grandma, and the irony of the situation is that she happened to be a professional in the very same profession I was given the privilege of undertaking to study at the time. Now, I think you all have heard me say before, do not let life humble you. Because when it does, I'm telling you that it stings. So when my grandma passed at the time and place ordained by God, I could not fathom it. And you know what hurt me the most? I had the mindset, and I was stuck in the mindset that just because I was uninterested in going to university and was in the profession that she, oh my goodness, was profoundly incredible at. When she passed, I was like, this is all your fault. Guys, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to have to pause recording because it's getting to be a little bit too much. 1 sec. Yeah, thank you for holding space. So I felt as though it was my fault. And I tell you a thing about guilt and shame. The devil really hold in places where, my God. So you see, I share this story now, and I can share it in a more meaningful way, especially when I'm mentoring, because it holds true to the concept of time, which belongs to God. It is God's assured time. Time stood still during that period of my life, and I just merely operated at that point on finishing the degree for grandma. Like every course that I sat, I was like, this is for grandma. Every rotation that I went on, this is for grandma. You understand what I'm saying? That was my mindset. This is for grandma, this is for grandma, because I felt I owed it to her. You know, because I felt I was just wasting so much time with what I wanted. You know, and I had all the time in the world. So, you know, I indeed actually finished the degree for grandma. And maybe, you know, if the good Lord wasn't ready, I wouldn't have learned a very hard and humbling lesson. May my grandma keep continuing to fly high with the angels. So, let's get back. Now, we've all heard there comes a time, or there will come a time when so and so and such and such and yishido lady yidi yada blah blah blue blue. Yeah, we've all heard it. A time going come when you see it. Yeah, we've heard it. Now, time assured, let's get into the meaning. Time assured means that we share the common phenomenon of Ecclesiastes verse 3. It goes, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. Verse 11 states, He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. He Yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. God gatekeeps time because, well, He gives it. He can afford to. He causes the sun to rise in the east and set in the west. At the right time, He states He will make it happen. It is for us to be patient, and that's why I encourage us all to re-listen, or listen if you hadn't, to the episode on patience. They go hand in hand. Time doesn't wait, it will never wait. But we can, and we ought to, so that in our numbered days we act and behave in righteous ways that the Lord has called us to demonstrate, because once again, time never returns. The task to complete today, and my grandfather used to always say this, what can be done today, do it today, do not put it off for another man. The task to complete today now will never return to this particular time. This recording of this podcast at this current time will not happen again. The time to study and do well is now. We will never return to this particular time. The time for a loved one to return, it will never happen in this year lifetime. Time is assured, that is a fact, but it is most certainly not ours to control. We wait on time, whether we like it or not. Though we may want more time to do a plethora of things, if it is not God's time, which is assured, it will not come to pass. Remember 2 Peter 3 verse 8? It says, with the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years. Can you imagine that? With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years. And 1,000 years are like a day. Don't waste any season of your life because it does not look or feel how you intend it to be. When man plans, God wipes. Learn to use time to your advantage and understand what each season is teaching you, so that way you will find yourself submitting more quickly and easily to it. And that's true time assured, if we really acknowledge and accept that. That when you can wake up before an alarm clock, when you can make your favorite drink in the morning to get your day started, when you can pray without interruption, when you can, like me, travel to Hawaii this weekend without pre-booking, Lord, let your will be done. When you can remove yourself from the illusion of time and have it assured with God. His time, never yours. His will, never ours. Let me summarize this episode very quickly. Time is an illusion, and we do not have it to keep or control. The only time assured is God's, as He gives and takes it. He creates it, He lends it. He gives and takes it in various seasons and circumstances. We are but precious gifts who ought to use our borrowed time wisely and reverently, removing any barriers that will hinder submitting to God before He ordains the time and place. Time waits on no one. Do what you have been called to do, and do it well, so that you, my dear gems, can hear those faithful words, well done, my good and faithful servant. Peace and love and light, and I will share with you all in the next episode. Bye everybody.